Alright, so this video covers just a few of the SEO strategies that we like to use when writing these articles. And if you're writing just a general info article for us, then we've also given you the keyword phrase slash topic to write on and to integrate into the article. I'm using this article just as a sample here, and it's actually a good template. If you want to come to this site, juicerfanatics.com, you can just go under articles and tips, and if you're looking for how to actually write this article, you can use their articles as kind of a template to go off of. This article in particular you can use too, because since I'm using it here as a sample, feel free. So I guess the first main thing I'll bring up is the article length. If we definitely want to keep that at a 700 word minimum. If you can get everything within 700 words, great. If you need more space, feel free to go beyond that limit and write more if you need to. The next thing is subheaders. Definitely want to break up the paragraphs using these nice subheaders. Just makes the article look nicer overall, and it's also good for SEO. I brought up a sample here. As you can see, this is an example of one article, same article. One version doesn't have the subheaders, and then the other version has the subheaders. As you can see, it makes it look much nicer. So definitely want to break up these paragraphs with subheaders. And then to also the paragraphs, we don't want super short and we don't want super long. So we kind of want an in-between, nice in-between paragraphs. I would say probably anywhere between 3 and 5 line paragraphs would be perfect. If we have, what we want to avoid is having super short paragraphs. We don't want like 1-2 liner paragraphs. And then we also don't want like, super long paragraphs like 6, 7, 8 liner paragraphs. So again, anywhere between 3 and 5 lines would be perfect for a paragraph. And then again, just to break it up with subheaders. So the next thing will be the keyword phrase. We have two actual mandatory places we ask that you integrate these keyword phrases, and the first spot will be within the title, within the main title. Okay, and the second place is also within the first 100 characters of the article. That's another mandatory place we ask you to use the keyword phrase. And the reason we do this is because this is what Google basically indexes in the search engine. And when Google sees our keyword phrase used in the title and also within the first 100 characters, Google gives us an edge, an advantage with that keyword phrase, and basically helps us rank higher for that keyword phrase. So I just brought up this page here. You can see this is the actual article that we're looking at, indexed in Google, and I'm guessing this article here, they're targeting benefits of juicing as a keyword phrase. And as you can see, they have it in the title and also within the first paragraph. And if we jump over here, we can see it here within the first 100 characters and then also within the title. So again, Google only indexes the first 100 characters of your article. That's why it's important that we have that keyword phrase within the first 100 characters. If it were to go outside of that, outside of the 100 character limit, then Google wouldn't index it in their listing here. So also within the title, if we could keep the titles within about 70 characters long, that would be ideal. Google only indexes the first 70 characters of your title, so definitely want to have our keyword phrase within that first. If you need to write a little longer than 70 characters, we want to have our keyword phrase at least within the first 70 characters. And then what we want to avoid is we don't want like super long titles, and so a nice 70 characters is probably a nice nice size there for a title. Also, if you can, the title is something that is something that really determines like if someone were to read your article. So it's nice to have like a nice catchy title, something that people want to click on, that looks attractive. So feel free to come up with a nice catchy title, something creative that you would want to click on. And you know, you could just have like this person, if they're targeting this keyword phrase, benefits of juicing, they could have just had benefits of juicing as a title without adding the great part in there. But it looks nicer if you can just maybe add, a little more words to the title, improvise a little bit, and again, just come up with something nice and catchy and creative. That would be ideal. So those are the main things we like to look out for. Again, those are our two mandatory places for keyword placement. Beyond that, we're not really stressing keyword placement because we want to focus mainly on content for the reader. Our main focus here, I would say, the majority of percentage of our focus is going to be on providing value and a nice detailed article. We want the reader to get something from it. So basically, in other words, we're not writing for search engines. We're not focused just on SEO content. We definitely want to just mainly focus on the reader and giving them a good piece with something that provides actual value. So that being said, it's not that important that we use the keyword phrase, too much throughout the article. If you want to, it would be nice if you could use the keyword phrase maybe 1 to 3 more times throughout the article, evenly dispersed throughout the article. But beyond that, definitely we want to keep the keyword phrase to a minimum used throughout the article because we don't want to get picked up by Google for over-optimization. So that's basically Google sees over-optimization is when we use the keyword phrase too much throughout the article, and Google sees that as kind of spammy content. So we want to avoid that. So if you do use the keyword phrase throughout the rest of the article, definitely just want to make sure that it's used in a natural way, doesn't look out of place or unnaturally used and forcefully used basically. But if you can find a place for it where it looks natural, then feel free to use it. But again, our two most important places are at the very beginning of the article. So readability is pretty important too. I brought up this blog post here. You're free to come here to this link and just read some of the readability stuff. We use a plugin that actually determines the readability of our articles, and we like to have a nice score on that. So a couple tips here. This article gives us a couple tips on how to have a nice article that has a good readability score. Clear paragraphs, short sentences, limit the difficult words, so we don't want a bunch of words that people can't read. Use transition words like because, thus, besides that, most important, those type of things is good. And then just mix it up with variation. Variation is a big one too. We don't want to use any one particular word or phrase too much throughout the article because Google could see that as over-optimization, and that's something we definitely want to avoid. So variation is definitely a good thing to keep in mind when writing these articles. So those are the main things to look out for when writing these articles.